In 2013, deep in the woods of Kansas, something very strange and very magical was happening among the trees. But as the Fisher family walked through the enchanted landscape, they were about to discover something even more special. The city in which they walked was Overland Park, Kansas, and at the time, it was witnessed as something pretty incredible. Yes, within the woods that sit on the outskirts of the city, strange dwellings began appearing almost overnight. In fact, visitors began uncovering tiny doors among the Tomahawk Creek Trail. And these miniature entrances were carefully concealed in the trunks of trees. What's more, when the doors opened, they often revealed extraordinary little homes within. The magical settlement was dubbed the Firefly Forest, and it appeared to be home to an enchanting community of creatures, perhaps a group of fairies or possibly a colony of elves. Not surprisingly, the local children were delighted with their unexpected new neighbors. Everyone, however, wondered just how these houses came to be. It later transpired, alas, that the enchanting project wasn't the work of magic. There had, though, been a little human help in the form of Robin Frampton. This single mom had just moved to Overland Park in 2012, and she was seeking respite from a particularly stressful divorce. Initially, then, Frampton started to build the houses to help her young sons, Parker and Tyler, cope with the upheaval of the separation. In the beginning, we didn't do this for other people, she explained in The Nomist, a short film about the forest. We did this for us. I would love for them to not experience the pain of divorce and stay in that childish space for a little bit longer. But over time, people started noticing, and the forest became a popular landmark within the local community. And the magic spread too. How? Because the colorful little homes helped those living in the suburbs to overcome their sense of isolation, and it gave neighbors something to bond over. Indeed, young and old alike were enchanted not only by the houses, but also by the incredible detail contained within. Yes, these tiny rooms were decorated with miniature beds and pocket-sized furniture, while minuscule possessions hinted at their fairy tale occupants. And in one teeny kitchen, Frank did it even placed a little kettle on the boil, using dry ice to create steam. It was touches like this that kept people coming back for more. One day, for example, a house would be filled with moving boxes, and the next, the boxes would be gone and the rooms redecorated, signaling that a new magical little guest had just moved in. There was one other thing that the residents loved about the forest too. It contained a house where people could actually leave notes for the fairies. And so visitors to Firefly Forest left messages clipped to the tree, which Frampton gathered up when no one else was around. Naturally, then, as word of the fairy houses spread, families enjoyed a visit to the enchanting community. But for Kelly Fisher and her family, the trip to Firefly Forest was especially magical and the start of a truly moving adventure. Why? Because sadly, Fisher's 3-year-old daughter Ally had passed away in 2013 following a battle with brain cancer. And now Fisher often visited the forest with her husband and daughters to reminisce about the little girl who loved nothing more than the great outdoors. Annie had been especially fond of owls, so her family had nicknamed her Little Owl once. Then Fisher left a note in Firefly Forest in memory of her daughter, and she signed it off with the words, "Love you, Little Owl." Frampton discovered the note, and she knew exactly what needed to be done. "I just thought, oh my gosh," she told CNN. "Somebody's lost their child immediately. My thought was, of course, we'll make a door for her. It just seemed natural. It seemed like the right thing to do." And so the next time the Fisher family visited the forest, a heartwarming surprise was in store. There, set in the hollow trunk of a tree, was Allie's very own little door, painted green and set with tiny gold owl. The door was the perfect tribute to the little girl. "It's the most beautiful act of compassion," Fisher told CNN, "that a stranger would know the pain and think, I should do something to honor that short life." What's more, the Fisher family now have the perfect place where they can come and remember Allie. Unfortunately, however, the rest of the forest hasn't enjoyed such a happy ending. At the height of the house's popularity, Director of Park Services Greg Rather expressed concern over them and queried who would be responsible for maintaining them. Moreover, eventually he decreed that the little buildings must be removed from the woods altogether. So it was that the Nomist ended on a bittersweet note, with Frampton and her family packing down the houses and heading off for a new life in Utah. Thankfully, though, the story doesn't end there. That's because the Fisher family will always have the one door that Frampton refused to take down, the one dedicated to Little Owl. And soon, other children might be able to benefit from her magical work too. Yes, thanks to the success of the Nomists, Frampton has been inundated with support from fans around the world. And now she's hard at work on her next project, a huge multi-story fairy house destined for a children's hospital in Salt Lake City. Meanwhile, rumors are beginning to spread that tiny magical houses have started cropping up in the woods around Utah. It's probably just a coincidence, of course. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them.